Hi, it's Katrina. From a leech the size of a house to reported modern-day sightings of a crocodile that went extinct long before the dinosaurs, here are 11 giant animals of mythology and folklore. Number 11. Camazotz. Camazotz was a Mesoamerican bat god who was much bigger than ordinary bats of both past and present. In fact, he's perhaps best described as the Batman of the ancient world, a half-man, half-bat creature whose name translates to death bat in the K'iche Mayan language of Guatemala. He had a humanoid body, a bat's head, and a nose shaped like a flint knife. Legends of this terrifying monster began in Oaxaca, Mexico among the Zapotec people and ultimately spread throughout the Mayan culture. Camazotz lived in a cave called the House of Bats and represented night, death, and sacrifice. According to the ancient Maya mythological text, the Popol Vuh, he attacked victims in the neck and even decapitated the hero warrior Hunahpu and set his head aside for future use in a ball game among the gods. Camazotz was one of 4 animal demons who wiped out humanity during the age of the first sun, which is the first in a series of creation and destruction myths about how the world came to be. Some scholars have suggested that Camazotz was perhaps originally based on the vampire bat, or a larger extinct bat species that existed during the Pleistocene or Holocene periods. One of the largest ever bat species was Desmodus Draculae, which had an impressive wingspan of up to 20 inches, but was still much smaller than Camazotz would have been. This powerful sculpture was actually created in 2014 by the artist Christian Pacheco, owner of the Yucatan-based design firm Kimball. Many people mistakenly believe that the Mayans created this sculpture around 500 AD, but it is still quite possibly the first rendering of Camazotz in 5 centuries. Number 10. Erymanthian Boar. This gargantuan of Greek mythology is primarily associated with the 12 labors, a series of conquests assigned to Heracles by King Eurystheus. The Erymanthian boar lived on Mount Erymanthus, a sacred region to the goddess Artemis. It unforgivingly terrorized anyone who mistakenly stepped onto its territory by ripping them to shreds with its sharp canine teeth. Sometimes it wandered onto farmlands while destroying all the living creatures in its path as punishment to the people for not honoring certain gods. The gods loved the boar because they would send it to do their dirty work. King Eurystheus knew it would be extremely difficult for Heracles to capture the boar alive, so he chose the task as the demigod's 4th labor. On his way to complete the mission, Heracles visited a centaur friend named Pholus for advice. Pholus said that Heracles could defeat the boar if they could lure it into deep snow. They cracked open a jar of wine, but the smell attracted other centaurs, and they all ended up getting drunk. The centaurs started attacking in a drunken brawl, and Heracles fought back with poison arrows. According to one account, one struck an immortal centaur named Chiron, causing him immense pain. While he didn't die, he couldn't live with the pain, so he relinquished his immortality by trading places with the titan Prometheus, who sat chained atop a mountain while an eagle continuously ate at his liver. But that's a story for another day. Heracles shot the eagle down and sought Chiron's help in luring the boar into deep snow, where a successful capture ensued. When King Eurystheus was presented with the boar, he was so terrified he hid inside a huge jug or a jar or a vase and ordered Heracles to throw his body into the sea. Number 9. The Yacumama. The Yacumama is a gigantic serpent of the Peruvian Amazon whose name means mother of water. She's said to be nearly 100 feet long and relentlessly pursues anyone who disturbs her. Her story of origin takes place hundreds of years ago in a deceptively peaceful lake located at the end of a tributary of the Ucayali River. A fisherman from a nearby tribe canoed to the lake one day and noticed no signs of a previous human presence, meaning the water was abundant with fish. As he eagerly searched for an ideal place to begin fishing, a serpent with a head the size of a human appeared in the center of the lake and swayed back and forth, staring at the suddenly terrified man. Fearing for his life, he jumped to shore and fled into the forest, abandoning his canoe in the lake. The Yacumama pursued the fisherman, who knew he had no hope of outrunning her, and resorted to praying instead. Out of nowhere, 4 tapirs fell from the sky and into the lake, momentarily distracting the Yacumama. It gave the fisherman just enough time to escape, but his disturbance of the serpent's home meant that there was more trouble to come. After the incident, the Yacumama left the lake, and ever since she swims throughout all the waters of the Peruvian Amazon, devouring all living creatures within a 100-step distance. There is no escape for those who disturb her. One possible explanation for Yacumama sightings is the green anaconda, an excellent swimmer and one of the world's largest snakes, measuring up to a foot in diameter and weighing as much as 550 pounds. There are some who believe that ancient people of the Amazon may have had to deal with a prehistoric ancestor of the anaconda that might still be hiding deep in the forest. Number 8. Aqrabuamelu. In Babylonian and Mesopotamian mythology, the Aqrabuamelu, also called the Scorpion Men, are the guardians of the sun god Shamash, who is also a deity of truth, healing, and justice. They have the body of a scorpion and the head, torso, and arms of a man, and are so big and tall, their heads touch the sky. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Scorpion Men guard Shamash's gates atop Mount Mashu. The gates represent the entrance to Kurnugi, the land of darkness where Shamash spends his nights and emerges from every morning. Besides being of astronomical bodily proportions, the Scorpion Men are extraordinarily powerful, with the ability to kill with a mere glance. However, they do not abuse their power. On the contrary, they have a reputation for being benevolent and even warning travelers of any unforeseen dangers, courtesy of their ability to see above the horizon. Number 7. Mapinguari. Also called the Juma, the Mapinguari is a gigantic, Bigfoot-like entity of Brazilian folklore who lives in the Amazon rainforest. Legend holds that thousands of years ago, a shaman discovered the key to immortality. This angered the gods, who punished the shaman by turning him into an eternally wandering beast. The Mapinguari's appearance varies. While some reports describe it as an ape-like creature, others claim that it resembles giant Ice Age ground sloths that once roamed the region. Either way, many who have been graced by its presence reported that it emits a horrific stench strong enough to make people faint. According to one account, which was detailed in National Geographic's Man vs. Monster series, a young girl named Christina began hearing strange noises while she picked fruit in the forest, about 50 feet from her house. She then spotted a large humanoid creature nearly 7 feet tall, with long black hair down to its feet. Christina was so scared, she instantly stopped what she was doing and ran home. While she didn't catch a clear glimpse of the creature's face, she believes it was the fabled Mapinguari. Number 6. The Roc. The Roc is a massive bird of prey with origins in Middle Eastern mythology. Stories of the creature first appeared in Arabic folklore and fairy tales and eventually spread to the West. It was so strong it could effortlessly pluck an elephant from the ground with its talons. In fact, snatching up prey and carrying it to great heights was the first step in the Roc's bizarre hunting method, according to a 13th century account by European explorer Marco Polo, who went on to explain that the Roc then dropped the animal to the ground, causing it to smash into pieces, and feasted upon its remains. The creature was so enormous, Moroccan scholar Ibn Battuta reportedly mistook it as a floating mountain hovering above the China seas. Such legends may stem from exaggerated sightings of eagles, who are capable of carrying creatures as large as newborn lambs. On the other hand, these stories were perhaps perpetuated by sightings of now extinct predatory birds, such as the large flightless elephant birds of Madagascar, who were around as recently as the 17th century. Number 5. Tlanusi. In Cherokee folklore, Tlanusi, or the Leech Place, is the name of a location along the Valley River in Murphy, North Carolina, where a leech the size of a house is said to appear. The site is marked by a rocky ledge in the stream, which people once used as a bridge. One day, some men were passing through on a bank overlooking the creek and spotted a massive leech with red and white stripes on the rocky ledge below. It unraveled and rolled back into a ball several times as the horrified group watched, and eventually crawled back into the water and disappeared. Then the water began to boil, and an enormous column of water sprayed up into the air. The men scrambled out of its path and narrowly avoided being swept into the water. According to legend, the leech has claimed several victims, including one young man who laughed at the rumors and traveled to Tlanusi, only to be swept into the river by a sudden wave. The only survivors were those who acted quickly enough to avoid the creature's waterspout, and many victims were never found after being sucked in. Number 4. Sleipnir. Sleipnir is a mighty gray, 8-legged horse of Norse mythology. He ranks among the Valkyries as one of Odin's many helping spirits. His job is to carry Odin on the gods' journeys throughout the 9 worlds, a task requiring great strength and speed. Sleipnir is supremely built, with a muscular body that enables him to run faster, jump higher, and neigh louder than all other horses. He fearlessly travels through water, on the ground, and in the air with ease, even venturing into hell, the realm of the dead, when necessary. Sleipnir's father is a stallion named Svalifardi, who belonged to a banished race of giants and helped build a fortification for the gods. His other parent was a devious deity named Loki. By the time Sleipnir was born, neither of his parents had a great reputation, but the Norse gods deemed his heart to be noble and accepted him anyway. Not sure exactly how all of that happened, but anyway. He eventually fathered a steed named Grani, who matches Sleipnir's size but has 4 legs rather than 8. Number 3. Amarok. Amarok is a monstrous wolf of Inuit mythology. It hunts alone, unlike other wolves who are pack hunters, and it devours lone hunters at night. In one legend, the Amarok responded to a distressed young boy's call to the Lord of Strength. The boy was small and weak, and his village ridiculed him. He needed help becoming stronger. Amarok wrestled the boy to the ground with his tail, knocking some of the child's bones off of his body in the process. He told the boy that the excess bones had stunted his growth, and to return daily to improve his strength. Soon enough, the child could defeat 3 grown bears on his own, and the people of his village began respecting him. Another story explains that when caribou became too numerous and were weakened by a food shortage, the Amarok helped the herd regain their health and strength by hunting the ailing members. The Amarok has soul-stealing capabilities. After a man and his relative killed its litter of cubs and fled to another cave, they watched as it dragged a humanoid creature out of the water. At that moment, the man collapsed at his relative's feet, demonstrating the Amarok's ability to exact revenge even in its adversary's absence. While some Arctic tribes apply the term Amarok generally to any wolf, others use it to specifically refer to the legendary creature. Some people believe that modern-day Amarok stories may be rooted in ancient accounts of an extinct giant wolf species that once roamed the Arctic and measured up to 5 feet long. Number 2. Gabahali. The Gabahali is an amphibious reptile of Liberian folklore. It resembles a crocodile or a monitor lizard, but is much larger, growing between 20 and 30 feet long. The creature's snout is shorter than a crocodile's, and its legs are slightly longer. It has a powerful tail and many sharp teeth. The Gabahali is an ambush predator who drowns its prey and is also known for occasionally killing people who wander too far into its territory. While it's considered a cryptid, or an animal whose existence remains unproven, some Liberians claim to be first-hand eyewitnesses who can vouch that it's real. And there are also some very real cases of people being viciously attacked by an unidentified creature in the country's dense rainforest. Descriptions of the Gabahali most closely resemble an extinct genus of reptiles called Rauisuchian postosuchus, which disappeared 200 million years ago and lived in what is now the United States. While it's not only unlikely, but practically impossible that this is the same creature as the Gabahali that people report seeing, perhaps there is an undiscovered crocodilian lurking in the Liberian jungle. A 2007 Cryptomundo post by an American working in Liberia points out that due to years of civil war, which are now over, biologists and other experts have long neglected studying the country's dense rainforests, which are teeming with wildlife. Do you think the Gabahali is an undiscovered crocodile species? What the heck is going on here? Let me know in the comments below. Number 1. Beuchen. The Beuchen was a demonic shapeshifter of indigenous Mapuche and Chilote mythology in southern Chile. It could instantly assume any desired form, but often appeared as a monstrous flying snake who made bizarre whistling noises. It could pretty much be any size it wanted. The creature's gaze instantly paralyzed its victim, thereby giving it de facto permission to suck their blood. There have been several reported sightings of the Beuchen sucking blood from sheep. A Mapuche medicine woman called a machi can eliminate the Beuchen. Cryptozoologists are divided regarding the creature's origin. Some believe it derives from the common vampire bat, which the word Beuchen is also used to describe in Chile. Others theorize that the shapeshifter is related to, or even the same thing, as the legendary chupacabra, a hairless dog-like cryptid who roams the countryside sucking the blood of innocent livestock. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up for more! Which creature was your favorite? What other mythological things would you like to learn about? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you soon! Bye!